Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have community and to create space on all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan: support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. For those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Sunday, and we actually have a thought piece scheduled to drop this upcoming Sunday, so definitely be sure to meander over to our website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you are looking for a listening alternative, well, we're available on 12 different podcast platforms for your listening leisure, and we've provided you with access to the links in our description down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. And of course, if you like these conversations and you want to keep them going, like, comment, and share this segment. Let's get into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today our topic of discussion is mental health. And on the conversation of mental health, I'm just going to give you some food for thought on attitudes around change. And I think that this is super important because the attitudes, the beliefs we carry around change really do reinforce how well we respond to change and how often we enact with change. And I think both of those two things are fundamental to our growth and development as we focus on our personal journeys and the change that those journeys are going to obviously introduce. So I want to cover this twofold. So the first is introducing change to our own lives. I think sometimes we take on a role within our lives where we're just responding, right? So we're responding to the things that are happening to us, we're reacting to the things that are happening to us, but we're not proactively deciding our steps. And I think that this is something that we all should take upon ourselves to begin doing so that we recognize the active role we play in the unfolding of events that is our life. Now, if we're constantly in this state of paralysis because there's so many different things to take into consideration and we're not used to enacting change, we're not used to enforcing change in our lives for our betterment or to change the landscape or to change the tone, the scene, the settings, the situations, the relationships, then it's going to be daunting. But it always starts with that first initial step. And I think that it's very important to recognize that we have autonomy, that we have agency by enacting on different decisions and different trajectories that is going to introduce change, and not just change in a very superficial way, but change in a fundamental way. We have within us the power to enact actions and decisions that create fundamental changes in our lives and in our life trajectories. And yes, that can be really fear-inducing, it can be very anxiety-inducing, but it's always for our best, right? And I think that the only changes that we are subjected to are the changes that happen to us, and not recognize that we have the ability to enact change that happens for us is problematic. So I want to address that because I think that it's very important that we realize the relay that it takes place between the changes that life throws at us and the changes that we can throw at life. Not every situation that you have normalized is a situation that's good for you. And if it's not a situation that's good for you, but however it is you choose to define that, then that situation is calling on you for change. And I think that it is important that we recognize that when it is the case that we realize that we're not okay with certain things that have become norms in our lives, that it is a call for change. It is a call for us to be courageous, to be brave, to respond with our best interests in mind. And if that means a change of landscape, a change of country, a change of people, a change in your social networks, a change in hobbies even, then go forth and enact that change with courage and with bravery. Things are going to align with the fact that you're trying to do things for your higher self. And I think that sometimes we need to make the tough calls to align with our higher selves. We need to be the ones to enact the change rather than wait for the universe or for situations to force change upon us. So that's the first part of this conversation. The next part of this conversation talks about our response to when change is taking place. So change, I believe, is inevitable. I think sometimes we can allow ourselves to fall into an illusion that life is as it is and will continue to be that way. And if we have some sort of fear or apprehension about change, we can create sort of these safeties and these contingencies that will maintain a steady state in our life. Life is not meant to be steady Eddie, okay? And I don't know why this is so prevalent, this narrative about if your life is not steady Eddie, if you're not dealing with turmoil to some extent, if you're not dealing with like life milestones that introduce grief, that introduce loss, that introduce fear, then that means you're living a great life. A great life involves grief, fear, loss, change. It involves, drastic changes of events. Like all of these things are not indicative of how good or how bad your life is. They're indicative of you living your life. There is nothing constant that we can control, that we can maintain, that we can predict in life. And if you do feel that you are in some degree doing those specific things, it's a matter of time before the universe blows that illusion up into your face. So I don't want this to be dark or foreboding, but I do want to try to put a realistic undertone to those of you who are clinging to the illusion of control but still want to be part of this game changer community. I need you to understand that control is an illusion, and acceptance gives you the opportunity to be fluid, to be flexible, and to be adaptive to the settings around you, and also aware to the little indicators in the environment around you, little signals that tell you change is coming. So many times we get blindsided by change because we're ignoring the shifts and changes in landscapes that are subtle but obvious enough to let us know that something bigger is coming. And that's because we're too busy focusing on satisfying this illusion of control that is not healthy for us or for the future selves that we're going to be as a byproduct of that transition. So I'm here to really call for building a foundation that is accepting of change, that recognizes the beauty, the benefits of change. And even if with that change you have periods of loss or periods of grief, you need to also make room for excitement, because change introduces something new, and every new opportunity is an opportunity to build something, to create something beautiful for you and the world around you. So that was essentially what I wanted to come in here and talk about. It's not structured as my talks typically are, but I think that it is necessary, and it is my point of view, and it is also a fundamental truth that we Project Purpose are built on that I think is important to share, because I think some people like the idea of growth and development from a place of constancy, and I'm here to say that they are mutually inclusive. Growth and development comes with accepting change and being okay with volatility and the chaos that life inevitably will introduce. All of that to say, that was it for today. But before letting you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that we will be going live at least twice a month, every month for the foreseeable future on our Facebook page. So definitely be sure to tune in. Now, these events are paid events, so if you do see yourself participating in our community on an ongoing basis, then I do suggest that you take a look at one of our package plans. Yes, so we do offer package plans over and above our live events, and these plans give you the opportunity to cultivate the skills required to derive more meaning and fulfillment out of life. So very excited about that. Now, if you are concerned about pricing, please don't be. We do offer a new payment solution that gives you the opportunity to make payments in 4 installments over a period of 6 weeks. So definitely be sure to take a look at that. And we look forward to chatting with all of you very, very soon. We're on the road to 1K, so definitely subscribe. We look forward to chatting with each of you, being part of your individual journeys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Feel like no one's listening. Some days I just